We have some very shocking results. So all the Magnificent Seven has released their earnings except for NVDA, which is still a few weeks away. So we're gonna do this video without NVIDIA. So let's talk about the most impressive announcement from Google, giving them a 15% jump overnight. I almost had to check whether this is Google or Bitcoin. Google did beat earnings expectations, but the jump in share price is thanks to Google issuing its first ever 0.2% dividends to its shareholders. Now, this isn't a lot, but this is a good sign that a company is profitable enough that it can return some of its profits to its investors. The last time this happened with Meta, the stock pumped as well. People really love their dividend. And on the opposite side, we have Tesla, and saying their earnings was good would be an absolute lie. It missed every single important metric from analyst expectation. Revenue down in the millions with 3 zeros behind, making this the biggest decline since 2012, back when Elon Musk was making fun at BYD. And we have to factor in the Cybertruck recall and the cut on their pricing for self-driving cars as well. And as you would expect from the stock market, this means Tesla's share prices went up. Huh? So why was this the case? Well, higher prices was attributed to Elon showing 5 screenshots of potential launch of his robotaxis in August 2024, which means that it should arrive sometime in 2034. What's even more interesting is we have Meta Q1 earnings, which tanked its share price more than 15% after hours, and you would expect their earnings to be worse than Tesla's. Except that their earnings did exceptionally well, with an increase in 27% from last year, the fastest rate of expansion for the company since 2021. This makes investing sound like a real challenge, right? Share prices of companies that do well fall and companies that do poorly skyrocket. So we had to dig down a little further, because stock prices are tied to future expectations, and Mark Zuckerberg mentioned that Meta's free cash flow will take a huge hit as there will be higher capital expenditure to develop AI infrastructure, which would be beneficial for NVIDIA. And next, we also have Amazon, which has also beat earnings and has pushed up the stock price just by a little bit, but there's two important things to take away. Number one, Amazon Web Services continue to expand and bring in more revenue. And second is Amazon doubling down on generative AI. Now, this isn't going to help Amazon directly, but this is a sign that, again, we are going to be helping NVIDIA. Microsoft, being Microsoft, had Q1 earnings going up 17.5%. Overall, nothing too spectacular, leading to a share price jump of 3.4% overnight. Nothing that exceptional, but nothing to scoff at either. However, double of that, Apple had a 7.86% overnight jump when it released its earnings. And yes, they did beat earnings, although barely. But what made the stock price jump was the amazing announcement of an increase in dividends and the announcement of a $110 billion stock buyback program. Apple has so much cash that instead of using the money to innovate on the Vision Pro, they decided to use that cash to buy back stocks. Okay, but I really like Apple products, so let's dig a little deeper. First of all, iPhone revenue continues to slump as iPhones are really boring right now. Even I am thinking of getting a folding phone, which is not a good sign because I am an Apple fanboy. I'm supposed to only own Apple products, but I am being tempted to the other side. But minus that aside, services are growing year on year, which is more important because profit margins on services are way higher than iPhones, which will increase overall profits in the short term. Second, many analysts think that this dropping iPhone demand is starting to plateau and the worst is already behind us. And last but not least, next week, Apple is expected to unveil new iPads, which could be the start of the AI journey for Apple. Some people may think it's going to be on-device AI, but we shall see how it's going to be. But we wouldn't know until the announcement. Alright, so that's it for April's earnings call. We are still waiting for NVIDIA,